All right, so we just did a video on about the Uncle R, Brother D theory, trying to get people who understand the responsibility and are good fit for being a politician, sending them to Washington or in any country. And I think how to remedy that and be able to allow these people to have a platform, because it's hard right now with two parties. In one of the elections, it was the one Ralph Nader ran for the Green Party. And it was the one that Bush stole, basically. And we'll talk about that with Trump and how it seems like the Republicans stole one election, then the Democrats stole an election. And it's hinky. You could say no, not, they repeated it enough times that it was like baseless. Every single news, baseless accusations. It wasn't baseless. There was some hinky stuff that happened. And even if there's one hinky county, then it's not baseless anymore. But there were several. So it's mind manipulation. You repeat something enough times, people will parrot it and they'll start to believe it, and psychologically proven. So it was in that election, though, the Gore lost, and everybody was pissed at Nader because he took 4% of the vote or something. It would have been enough to switch it. But had he gotten 5% or 3%, I forget what exactly it was, I wish I would have. I voted Democrat that round. I voted for Gore. And if Nader would have got 5%, the Green Party would have had federal funding. So that's would have been important, because we would have had a third party and we could have broken up this, lesser of two evils. But it didn't happen, and we all know how that election went. So, and for the kids out there, it was as hinky as the Trump thing, maybe more so. Bags of things in Florida disappearing, and it was insane. So basically, we need a website, an all-inclusive website for politics. And it needs to, number one, house videos of all the candidates. So even the crazy guy, we had this dude look like Santa Claus in Long Beach growing up, would run every year. And for, I think, Congress, maybe it was city council, mayor and stuff, but he, Ski Dembski, I want to say his name was. I don't remember anymore. But he looked like Santa Claus, and it was hilarious. And you have these crazy floats at like the Christmas parades and different events, and he was always running for something. And I want to say Congress, but it could have just been mayor. And there's going to be those guys, right? There was a guy with like a cone on his head one year. Right? There's going to be crazy people, but they have to go up too, But all the candidates can get a fair shake and have accessibility. So it shouldn't just be for money for their party, and they get the exposure and the commercials and that. There should be a website where everybody gets equal exposure. That's super important, so that all the different candidates, as we nominate the Uncle R's and Brother D's that we know to go and change things in Washington, they have to have representation. They have to be able to get videos up, so they'll have their own accounts, their own pages, links on these things. They'll all be on this page, though. So they can post videos, they can post, ideas, but have pictures, show what they do, talk about their lives, talk about their political theories, what they believe in, personal theories, whatever it is. But equal representation. So that's the first thing. It has to absolutely happen in a website. So the other kind of things that the website needs to represent would be bills. So everything that Congress votes on, we need to have the bill posted, like what it actually entails and what it is in layman's terms. So a lot of these bills are set up in such like jargon, basically law jargon, that only a lawyer could really understand them. So we need to have them deciphered into layman's terms, every part of it, line for line, no different than somebody who translates a King James Bible into common English. Actually, the Bible I read that I wholeheartedly really almost like memorized the Gospels of when I was 14 to 18 was this old hippie Bible from the Catholic Church my mom had. It was called The Way, and it was in layman's terms, and it was great. I ended up having, I don't know, 17 Bibles and like 12 Tanakhs in all different translations, and I would compare them. And then as I learned Hebrew, I would compare it to the Hebrew. And so it's important to read lots of translations, but you need to have things in layman's terms. And when we put stuff up in jargon, it's a problem. So you can have the jargon, but then you also have to have it in layman's terms. And everyone can access these and have them explained to them. So we can actually understand what the politicians are voting on. I think that's another really important part of the website. That's all inclusive. And then all the lobbying. So I talked about in the lobbying video that lobbying money should go back to the community. Instead of going to politicians' pockets, the corporations just want the vote. They can still get the vote, but the money, instead of going into the pockets of the politicians, it goes back to the community, either the county, if it's a House representative, or to the state, if it's in the Senate. And so that money is immediately given to the community, and the lobbyists can offer on the site. So the community will get this much money if they vote this way. They'll get this much money if they vote this way. And then we just tax the hell out of them if they go do backdoor deals, like 10% net profits or something so horrendous that they don't even think about it. It's another big thing. We had to pick up penalties. When a company dumps thousands of pounds of toxic waste somewhere and the penalty is less than the dumping fee, they're always going to take the penalty, right? We talk about profits or everything. So there's no reason for them to actually properly dispose if the fine is less than disposal fees. And so they'll just continue to dump and continue to do shady things until we up those. But most importantly, all the lobbyists have to post what they're going to pay the community, and then the community can vote. That's it. And then all the budgets have to be up. So detailed budgets. Obviously, the military is going to have a black budget. Certain things are going to have to. I believe in the military. I know it's a war machine. I know we're gun runners. I understand. But the world's a crazy place. Until we find deeper love, we should always be warriors, at least like Shaolin monks, I think, humanity. But right now, the world's a crazy place. And there's always going to be people, it's like that Simpsons episode that Lisa wishes for world peace and everyone's all hippie. They melt down all their guns and the aliens come and attack. There'll always be countries like that. If everyone just laid down their arms, somebody would come, unless the whole planet does. And even then, right, that's why we should always probably be like Shaolin warriors. We should all still have some kind of combat training, but not necessarily against each other, just as a philosophy. But I'm not saying we have to cut military budgets. Obviously, they're going to be black to some degree. They can't let us know what technology they're working on, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I think we should all be okay with that to some degree. I mean, billions, trillions of dollars additionally added, and there's no record of it, and these kinds of things, or billions, millions and billions of dollars. It's out of control. I mean, this kind of stuff. But budgets need to go up there, and we need to see. And if they're paying, $10,000 for a hammer, we need to be able to get on people like that. And then as we get involved, we need like Redditors. Redditors are pretty intelligent, actually. I'm not a big Redditor. A little bit here and there, I dabble, but they're readers, and so they tend to be. There's idiots too, right? Or like crazy people or whatever. It's okay. But there's a lot of intelligent people, and we need like accountants and different people to help break. The same way we're going to take bills and put them in layman's terms, we need to put budgets in the layman's terms. We need to expose what's there, and they all need to be posted online. One website, all completely accessible, and everybody can get involved easily. You can find all these numbers, but you got to hunt. Right now, I got to go to this website and that. Oh, and there's a link to this, and it's linked to that. Oh, everything is kind of here and there and pieces, and so much extra work. That's why one all-inclusive website is really the easiest way to give candidates a fair shake, to get exposure they need, regardless if they're with one party or the other, or they're independent, or the Green Party, or they're whatever it is. The budgets, the lobbying, all these different elements that we need to make sure are included, and the bills, obviously, just talked about, are all included on these websites. This one website that everybody can, and you can register to vote there. You can do all that kinds of stuff and prove you're a citizen. I mean, this whole thing of like, even the argument that non-citizens can vote in our election is the most ridiculous thing. Anyone who supports that is an insane person. Like, that's insane. I don't even know how to begin to like comprehend what they're thinking. That it's our country. It's an American country. And those people can vote and then just go somewhere else. What's to keep anyone, just random people coming in the country and voting and then leaving? And then we're stuck with the repercussions. It doesn't even make an inkling of sense. So that's another big idea, website, lobbying changes, and an Uncle R, a Brother D in Washington, sending them quick, are all big changes that are relatively simple to implement, but will have a lasting and powerful impact on change in Washington. So I wish the blessing of everyone to have the willpower and the willingness to get involved, because we have to. It's gotten so bad, and ideally, politics should run on the side, and we should be able to do our lives and spend time with our families, go to work, come home, do our thing, and everything should be cool, and it just is working on its own. That's what we pay the politicians to do. And, I didn't mention in the Uncle D theory, or Uncle R, Brother D theory, but politicians used to not get paid. Initially, representatives just went to Washington, voted, and went back to their businesses. They didn't even get paid. And so to even pay them is kind of ridiculous. But we're paying these people to take care of this business, and they're not taking care of business. So as hard as it's going to be, as much as we're working to the bone as it is just to survive at this point because of these politicians. It's going to cut our family, a little bit of our family time. Hopefully we can integrate our kids and teach them about politics as we do this. It's going to eat into our free time with social media and all those things, but we have to get involved. And if we don't, there's going to be dire consequences. They're already starting. So I really believe this is important. I wish the blessing of the will and the willpower to get involved, stay involved, and make these changes that we need to make so that the world can be a better place. America, our countries globally can be a better place. And as always, people, let's do this. Save the humans.
Trying to be a better man. Oh yeah. Trying to do the best I can. Oh yeah. And I'm gonna do right thing. Do right thing. No matter what they want to say. And I'm gonna still fight for you. Still fight for you.